Good morning, students. Continuing lesson number 8, Framing of Constitution and its Features. We discussed up to Pillars of Preamble. Today we are going to discuss basic features of the Constitution. Basic features. Basic features of our Constitution. First one, our constitution is the written document. First feature, our constitution is a written document. It is written document. लिखा हुआ है. Except Britain and Israel, India along with other nations of the world have their constitution in written form. Britain or Israel के सिवा all the countries including India have a written document. That is the first feature of Indian constitution. Next, size of the constitution. Size of the constitution. Our constitution is the longest constitution in the world. It is the longest constitution in the world. It divided into 22 sections comprising, in your textbook it is 395 articles, but now it is 417 articles and 12 appendices. And this constitution includes provisions for state administration, states interrelations, fundamental rights, principles of political policies, judiciary, election commission, fundamental rights and duties. Therefore, the Constitution of India is the largest, extensive and detailed written document. It is the longest constitution in the world. India's constitution is the longest constitution. And for shortest constitution, it is the Vatican City. That is the smallest country in the world. So, Vatican City's constitution is the shortest constitution. And our country's constitution is the longest constitution. And the third feature, we have only single citizenship. India's citizenship only we have a single citizenship. Third feature of Indian constitution is single citizenship. In America having dual citizenship, state citizenship, country citizenship and state citizenship. But in India, there is only one citizenship irrespective of any religion, any state of the country. But only the citizen of Jammu Kashmir have dual citizenship. Now it is not there. We know that 2019 this Jammu Kashmir state changed into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir. So now it is union territories. So Jammu Kashmir also not having dual citizenship. First it had. So in our country we have only single citizenship. Then fourth feature, the center with strong federal structure. The center with strong federal structure. That is the fourth feature of Indian center with strong federal structure. Our Indian government is a federal system. We have two types government, central government and state government. India is a union of state and no state has right to secede from it. Means all the state should be under the control of the Union of India. In Indian Federation, there are two sets of government, that is union government and state government. That is why central with strong federal structure. We have two government, union government and state government. And the constitution demarcates the powers of central and state government into different list of subjects. So we have two government, central government and state government, and constitution divides which are the powers coming under central government and which powers are coming under state government, and some powers are coming under equal central and state government. So there are three lists are there. First, union list. second state list, and third one concurrent list. Concurrent list. Union list consists of 97 subjects. 97 subjects, and these subjects are coming under the central government only. Central, union government or central government. 97 subjects are there in union list, and the subjects like which are the subjects coming: banking, railway, communication, post and telegraph are included. Banking, railway. Some subjects you have to learn also: railway, banking, post and telegraph, etc. are coming in union list. In union list, 97 subjects are there, and state list, the subjects comprises coming under the state government. There are 66 subjects. 66 subjects. State list included 66 subjects. The subjects included, these subjects, on this subject, state legislature house can pass laws. The subjects are agriculture, irrigation, health, etc. are coming in this state list. Next, third one, concurrent list. And this third list, concurrent list, there are 47 subjects, and this subject called concurrent consists of subjects of common, means both this subject coming in both the central and the state government, including criminal and civil procedure, marriage and divorce, education, economic planning, etc. are coming in concurrent list. So we have a federal government, means two types of government: central government and state government, and the constitution demarcates the powers of this central and state government. So there are three lists are there: union list, state list, concurrent list. Union list consists of 97 subjects, and these subjects are coming under central government. Subjects like railway, banking, post and telegraph, this are communication, this etc. are coming in union list. Second, state list, these subjects are coming under state government. The matters, subjects like agriculture, irrigation, health are coming in this state list. And concurrent list, there are 47 subjects, and subjects like criminal and civil procedure, marriage, divorce, etc. coming in concurrent list. Next, what is called residuary powers? Residuary powers. Residuary powers. Residuary powers means some subjects which are not specially allotted union or state. So some subjects not included in state or central, state government or central government. Some subjects are not included in state or central government, and these subjects are called residuary powers. And the central government is given the power to legislate on this residuary subject. Next feature is unified arrangement during crisis. Unified arrangement during crisis. Unified arrangement during crisis. Unified arrangement during crisis. If any crisis is happening in our country, unified arrangement. There are three types of emergencies are there. First, national emergency. National emergency. National emergency means war, external, if it is the time of war, external attack, armed rebellion. If war happened in our country and any external from this any country attacked India and armed rebellion, our military fight against our government, then in these circumstances government can declare a national emergency. Next, constitutional emergency. Constitutional emergency. Constitutional emergency means sometimes due to the law and order breakdown, the state government cannot administer the state properly. Because of the breaking of law and order, the state government cannot administer the state properly. That time, the constitutional emergency is declared. And third one, financial emergency. Third one, financial emergency. Financial emergency means due to the decrease in price, there is monetary value erosion, then the value of money will decrease due to the increase in prices and the value of money decreases. That time financial emergency can declare. So there are three type of crises are there. So that time unified arrangement during crisis. Three type of crisis in our country: national emergency, constitutional emergency, financial emergency. And sixth feature, parliamentary system. Our country have a parliamentary system. Parliamentary system. So our parliament is a bicameral parliament. Bicameral means in our parliament we have two houses, upper houses and lower house. Upper house is called Rajya Sabha. Upper house is called Rajya Sabha and lower house is called Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Upper house Rajya Sabha, lower house Lok Sabha. So we have a parliamentary system in our country. Parliamentary system. In parliament is the supreme authority representing the people. Though government is carried on in the name of president and the union. The name, the central, the name, the head is the president and the state the governor. But the real power is in the hands of prime minister and the council of ministers in the center. And in state it is in the chief minister and other minister. But in the name, the head of the state is president and president in the center and governor in the state. But real powers are in the hands of prime minister and chief minister. And in Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. This Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. 12 members, president select 12 people who are expert and experienced from various fields for Rajya Sabha. So in Rajya Sabha, President has the right to appoint 12 members in different fields, expert from political and social and literature from different fields. President has the right to appoint 12 members in Rajya Sabha. And Lok Sabha is selecting by Lok Sabha is due to the direct election. Lok Sabha members are selected. And the powers of Rajya Sabha are less compared to the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is special and superior. That's all parliamentary system. Next, independent and impartial judiciary. Independent and impartial judiciary. That is the seventh feature. Independent and impartial judiciary. Impartial judiciary. That is the next feature of Indian Constitution. We know that our judiciary is totally free from executive and legislature. And there is Supreme Court. The apex court is Supreme Court. Our Supreme Court is in Delhi. Apex court is Supreme Court. Supreme Court, and each court, each state having High Court. Each state having High Court, and below the High Court we have a District Court, and taluka level there is Taluka Court, and local special courts are also there. The judgment of the Supreme Court are binding in obeying to all subordinate courts of the nation. The Supreme Court is the protector and guardian of the Constitution. So our Constitution is impartial. Our Constitution, or sorry, judiciary is impartial and independent. Means judiciary is totally free from the influence of executive and legislature. And the Supreme Court is the apex court. Below Supreme Court we have High Court, District Court, Taluka Court and other local level courts. and the Supreme Court is the protector and guardian of the Constitution. Then amendment in Constitution. Amendment in Constitution. Next feature. Amendment in Constitution. Amendment in Constitution. Compared to other countries' constitution, the Constitution of India is dynamic. We already learned that our constitution is a live constitution because according to the aspirations and requirement of the people, we can make changes in the constitution. So it is a flexible or live constitution. And there are three ways for the amendment. Three ways. First, amendments can be made by a simple majority. Simple majority we can make changes. Simple majority. Simple majority means if there are 30 members, example 30 members are there, 16 members, only one simple majority, 16 members are supporting, that we can make an amendment in the constitution. Then certain amendments require special majority, means 2/3 majority. 2/3 majority means if the 30 members are there, 20 members are supporting, then only we can make an amendment in the constitution. But some matters concerning the union-state relations, special majority, 2/3 majority is needed, and the concurrence not less than, the support of not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. That is amendments in constitution. There are three ways in amendments. First one, simple majority. Second, special majority, that is 2/3 majority, and another union state relations, for that 2/3 majority is also needed. Then the support of more than not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. Next feature is universal adult suffrage. Next feature is universal adult suffrage. Next feature is universal adult suffrage. We already discussed about universal adult suffrage. Universal adult suffrage means, as a citizen of India, if the person above 18 years having the right to vote without any discrimination of color, caste, religion, etc. So in India we have the system of adult suffrage, which is according to that any citizen who is above 18 years of age possesses the right to vote in the election of parliament, legislative assembly. Next, secularism. We already studied about secularism. Secularism means in our country all the religions have equal importance. The state does not have the right to interference in matters of any religion. As a citizen of India, we have the right to follow any religion. That is secularism. Already discussed earlier. Next, judicial review. Judicial review. Judicial review is the chief characteristics of the Constitution. Without disrespecting the powers of the Parliament, the Constitution has made an effort to harmonize the principles of judicial review. It means if the court finds any disagreement in the external, if Parliament is framing the laws, if the Constitution finds any law is against the Constitution, the court has the right to declare it as unconstitutional. That is judicial review. Next, fundamental rights and duties. Fundamental rights and duties for the overall development of the nation and each and every citizen's improvement. Our Constitution given us fundamental rights and duties. Next, directive principles of state policy. 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 for the protection of the people and their security and welfare. Directive principles of state policy also included in our constitution. Next, last one, provision for backward sections and tribes. Special provision for backward sections and backward class or backward sections and tribes. Backward class, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Sections and tribes. So for their development, for their upliftment, some special provisions are included in our constitution. Like reservation seats are allotted to legislature and local self-governing bodies during election to provide representation. Then reservation quota has been provided for admission in education institutes and government jobs. So for their upliftment, for their development, some special provisions are included in our constitution. So we discussed the basic features of Indian constitution. First, our constitution is the written document. Our constitution is a written document. Then size of the constitution. Indian constitution is the longest constitution in the world. Then single citizenship. We have only one citizenship, that is Indian citizenship. And if you are in any state, we are not having state citizenship, we have only single citizenship, that is Indian citizenship. The center with strong federal structure. Our government is federal government, means government works at two levels, central government and state government. And the functions of this government are also divided into three lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. Union list consists of 97 subjects and state list consists of 66 and concurrent list included 47 subjects. Then residuary powers. Residuary powers means the subjects which are not specially allotted to union or state. Then unified arrangement during crisis. Unified arrangement during crisis means in our country mainly there are three emergency crisis period are there. National emergency. National emergency can be declared at the time of war and external attack. And constitutional emergency can be declared when there is a breaking of land order breakdown, and at that time the state government cannot administer the state properly. That time constitutional emergency can declared. Then due to the increase in price means there is monetary value erosion, the value of the money decreasing, that time financial emergency can declare. Then parliamentary system. We have a parliamentary system and our parliament is a bicameral parliament. Bicameral parliament means in our parliament there are two houses, upper house and lower house. Upper house is called Rajya Sabha, lower house is called Lok Sabha. And Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, and Rajya Sabha, when we are comparing to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha has less power and independent and impartial judiciary. Supreme Court is the protector and guardian of the constitution, and the apex court is Supreme Court, below that High Court, District Court and Taluka Court. Then amendments in constitution. Our constitution is a dynamic or live constitution. According to the aspirations and requirement of the people, we can make amendments in constitution. Next, universal adult suffrage. The citizen above 18 years without any discrimination, he or she has the right to give their vote. Then secularism, that is next basic feature of Indian constitution is secularism. Our country is a secular country. All religions have equal importance in our country. Judicial review, that is the special right to the court, and the president parliament is the supreme. Then also without disrespecting the powers of the parliament, the court have the right to if the parliament is framing any law, if it is against the constitution, then court has the right to declare these laws are unconstitutional. Then fundamental rights and duties, directive principles of state policy, provision for backward sections and tribes. Thus, today we discussed these basic features of constitution. Revise the lesson. Thank you.